Welcome to the second module on brand marketing for Semester 9 students of LJ Integrated MBA. This second module, this focuses on developing the brand strategies. So here we would be discussing the different concepts that develop brand strategies. In this session, I, Dr. Susmita Suggala, will be discussing the concepts on identifying and establishing brand positioning. Let us begin the session by understanding a few basic concepts. Now, brand positioning, this is the act of designing the company's offer and image so that it occupies a distinct and a valued image in the target customer's mind. Now, it is also the heart of a marketing strategy. Here, there are two concepts that we need to brush up. One is positioning and the second is your target customer, which we will be discussing one by one. Now, the meaning of positioning is the process of positioning your brand in the minds of your group of customers in the markets segment. Brand positioning, this is also referred to as a brand strategy, as a positioning strategy, or it is called as a brand positioning statement. The goal is to create a unique impression in the customer's mind so that the customer associates something specific and desirable with your brand that is obviously distinct from the rest of the marketplace. Rice and Trout, they define positioning as an organized system for finding a window in the mind. It is based on the concept that communication can only take place at the right time, at the right circumstances. Now, let us see what all do we need or what are the requirements for a good positioning. Firstly, we need to know what is a brand all about. Secondly, we need to know if it is unique and how is it similar to other brands. So basically, we are looking at the distinction of elements for identity. And lastly, why consumers should purchase and use it. That is, the usage and benefits for the customers is what we try to find out. In short, we can conclude that positioning requires a frame of reference. This is by identifying a target market and the nature of competition. We can say it creates a specific picture or idea about a surrounding service or maybe a concept being marketed. Frame of reference approach, this engages an outside-in perspective to generate a better understanding of a business, customers, or what they need to create a market. This could be a context in which brand is positioned. Secondly, your target customer, this is a group of customers that customer aims its marketing efforts towards. Thirdly, who is the main competitor? And fourthly, the difference and similarity of the brand with its competitors. Let us now refresh the concept of a target market. A target market is about identifying the customer segment. It is important because different customers have different brand perceptions and preferences of the product or the brand. Now, the different consumer segmentation bases are geographic segments, where it is talking about both international and regional. A demographic, which is based on the income, age, race, sex, family. The psychographic segment, which is based on the basis of values, opinions, attitudes, activities, and lifestyle of the consumer. Behavioral segment, this is based on the user status, the usage rate, occasions, brand loyalty, and the benefits that are sought by the consumers. Similarly, the B2B segmentation bases are also there. So this is based on the nature of goods, that is the type of buy, where it is used and the kind of goods. Second is buying conditions, like who buys and the type of buy. On the demographic base, like number of employees, the SIC codes, annual sales turnover, and the number of establishments and number of employees. The criteria to choose market segmentation and target markets is, can we easily identify a segment? Second, the size, that is, if there is going to be adequate sales in that segment or not. Thirdly, accessibility to the segment, that is, if the distribution channels and the communication media is available or not. The next, responsiveness, that is, how favorable will the segment respond to the marketing programs. After markets, segments, and targeting, we need to comprehend the nature of competition. Why so? There are two reasons for it. The first one, there are some target customers who may look to other competitor products, or it could be a possibility that they might, the competitors have already tried to target that customer that you as a company have decided to cater to. Now, the indirect competition, this suggests that brands do not face direct competition in the product category, but it still shares some abstract associations and face some indirect competition. Here, the competition occurs at the benefit level rather than at the attribute level. Now, recognizing threats and opportunities is therefore important. Competition should not be narrowly defined. There should be multiple frames of references. Now, a brand compares itself with multiple frames of references. How so? Let us take the example of Starbucks. This, of course, can be defined with a very distinct set of competitors with different similar and dissimilar features. Explaining that further, quick service restaurants and convenience shops, like you have in the case of McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. So the points of similarity or the POP would be the value and convenience, and the POD here could be the quality, the image, the experience, and the variety. The second frame would be the supermarket brands for home consumption like Nescafe and Brew. In this case, the POP could be the value and convenience, and POD, that would be variety, freshness, image, and experience. Now, the third frame, that could be the local cafes like your Wagh Bakri tea, tea posts, and others. Here the points of similarity or POP would be the quality, variety, price, and difference should be the service and convenience. Once the frame of reference is decided, the companies, the target market, and the nature of competition, the marketers focus on positioning. To decide the correct positioning, the points of parity and the points of differences have to be identified. Now, the points of parity or the POP associations, these are the attributes or benefits that consumers strongly associate with a brand and also evaluate. Now, these associations are evaluated so that customer understands the attributes and the benefits that they are seeking from that brand. These are not necessarily unique to that brand. The three categories in which the POP associations are there are the category points of parity, the competitive points of parity, and the correlational points of parity. Now, the first category points of parity, these represent the necessary but still not necessarily sufficient conditions for a brand, for choosing that brand. For example, a customer might not consider a bank as a bank unless it has multiple range of checking and saving plans. The competitive frame of the points of parity are those which can negate the competitor's point of difference. That is, grow strong in that area and become competitive and unbeatable. Thirdly, the correlational points of parity. These are the negative association in existence because of the positive associations. Here, there are many inversely related attributes and benefits. These could be low prices versus high quality. For example, we generally say taste versus calorie, whereas we know that these are two things which cannot come in the same boat. Powerful versus safe. Points of differences or the POD associations. These are attributes or benefits that consumers strongly associate with the brand. These positively evaluate and are unique to that brand alone. Here it is the performance attributes that are unique to the brand, and these are evaluated accordingly. Some considerations which are made while evaluating these points of differences are the performance attributes, the functional attributes that we have, and thirdly, the abstract or imagery related considerations. Now, the consumer benefits have underlying proofs of points or reasons to believe that, for example, if I take a closer electric shaver, this comes in form of some functional benefit. We could also take the example of IKEA, a Swedish retailer who has made luxury home furnishing easily accessible to the mass market at a very reasonable point. So for the points of parity versus points of difference, we could say that POPs can be used to overcome potential weaknesses. Now there is a zone of tolerance or acceptance here. The brand should do good on a particular attribute and the consumer should be able to recognize that difference to establish the sale. The POPs are hence easier to achieve than the PODs. The books referred are as given here. Thank you.